Sworn to Justice is a Cynthia Rothrock action vehicle. She is a defense attorney or something. I don't. The movie's not even sure. But anyway, she comes home one day and four burglars have broken into her house and have killed her sister and her nephew. So she's like, she barely escapes with her own life, and then she starts developing psychic powers in which she can touch something and then find out, the past, the truth. But it also like lets her predict the future, which is really weird. This movie is really weird. It's not one of her better movies. I just watched it on a whim. Someone uploaded it good quality on YouTube, so I just watched it. This is definitely Cynthia Rothrock's sexiest movie, though. The director definitely took advantage, and she's got a lot of cleavage and legs in this movie, 2 sex scenes. She's constantly showing off her skin and her body, so, I mean, for people that are into that, sure. But in terms of martial arts action, there's like the opening sequence, which is really serious and really like scary and tense. But then there's like a goofy scene where she stops a robbery, and it's really like a lot of like weird sound effects thrown in. And there's another one where she stops a robbery, and then like the psychic powers thing is kind of weird. It doesn't. She's like a vigilante. She's trying to find the 4 men who killed her sister, but the plot is just kind of like very thin. Sometimes she just runs into them on the street. She doesn't really use her resources to find them. Not enough action and martial arts stuff going on. I honestly don't even remember. Well, okay, I remember the ending now. Yeah, basically, one of the killers is good at martial arts, so like they have a little bit of a duel in a bar, but then it gets interrupted with some twists and stuff, and really hammy stuff because the script is lousy, and I guess Cynthia Rothrock is better when she's not the main. Well, that's not true. Okay, so I guess this movie's just terrible then, because like there are movies where Cynthia Rothrock is the main character and it's not bad, like the China O'Brien movies, or movies where she's like a villain or she's just like a sidekick, like the movie she did with Michelle Yeoh, or the Chinese ones like Righting Wrongs. So yeah, I guess this movie's just terrible because the script's terrible. It's not like she can't act. She's okay in those other movies where she has to do a little bit of heavy lifting, either where she's the main character or the side character. This movie's just not very good. So I give Sworn to Justice a 4 out of 10. Prince of the Sun is a martial arts fantasy action movie about a young boy who's the spirit incarnate of Buddha, and an evil monk, I guess, and his followers. They take over the temple, they defeat the master there, and the master is able to get the boy on a train at least, and tells him to find safety by himself. So the little boy has like a spirit charm that allows him to go invisible. He befriends an illegal immigrant who decides to sort of semi-adopt him, and then they have adventures in China. So they are also stalked by the evil monks, and also Cynthia Rothrock plays the good monk. She is like there to like find the boy and keep him safe. So most of this movie is basically like shenanigans. There's this great character. She's a teacher who hates kids, and the little boy gets her fired, and then finds out that she's actually the contact for the illegal immigrant, and the illegal immigrant's friend told him to stay there, so now they have to live with her, and she's quite a character. She steals the entire movie. It's pretty funny because you think she's kind of like that one-off kind of villain just to mess around with. She ends up being one of the main characters. So she's got gambling problems, and she doesn't have a job. There's this great gag with a broken window. There's some pretty solid martial arts in here. It's 90s martial arts, so it's like hard-hitting, old-school stuff. Cynthia Rothrock is definitely capable, but she's not the main character. She's like, the good guy, sort of. She's only in there for like 40% of the movie. Most of the movie is the illegal immigrant guy and the little boy, and they get into like adventures and stuff, like going to school or watching out for monks, and like a lot of fights here and there, and have this big overblown finale in a temple. But overall, it's a lot of fun. It was very nostalgic. It reminded me of like Sammo Hung's early movies, 90s Hong Kong, beat 'em up with a lot of like fighting, a little bit of fantasy, just bad dubbing. But overall, it was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed this one. So I give Prince of the Sun a 6 out of 10.